Yes, as you can see on the LCD, it says breaking news. Yes, and it's really breaking news. And we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel are happy to report that this is a follow-up of the video that we had released this morning about our colleagues from Huntsville who were persecuted by the criminal system in Jamaica that favors the criminals. Yes, you know, they had convicted 3 of our colleagues over 11 years ago. Yes, persecute them, you know, demonize them, demagogue them, and they use the media to convict them in the court of public opinion. And Jamaican for Justice, along with the PNP LGBTQ plus party and the JLP LGBTQ plus government, have been instrumental how we reach this juncture in Jamaica's history. So we are happy to report that these police officers are freed. Yes, that they have won their appeal. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we had no insight into the judge's ruling. The only thing that we have done is post a video earlier this morning. It was requested by young police officers from Huntsville, where we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel used to station and work for more than a decade. And we have close ties to the same St. Andrew South Police area. So that is what we have done. And we want to say a big up to General, big up. The man who is behind the curtain, who has been always fueling a lot of little things when it comes down to police. Yes, people don't even know that you are the one who's instrumental with GT Taylor, the police officer, one of the most viewed videos on the channel. So, and you are the one who deserves the credit, because you are the one that keep telling us that we need to highlight this member. And yes, and most people don't even know that you are the person who keep reminding us of Crystal, the police officer that was murdered close by where VANESSA KIRKLAND was killed in the shootout with the police officer. So big up to you, General. You know yourself and you know who we attack and them thing there. Yeah. And big up to Detective Corporal Evan Blake. Yeah, man. So yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To my loyal viewers and subscribers. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. Yes, before we go any further, if you haven't clicked the like button as yet, just click the like button, because you know that you're getting reliable content, truthful content. Because we're not here about views, you know, sensationalism. We're just here to tell you the facts, past, present, and what we expect in the future. So click the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, yeah, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost a dime, a penny, a nickel, a cent, or a dollar. And it won't clog your phone memory. So your phone will still operate at its optimal level. So just go ahead and do that. And share the video with your friends, your colleagues, even your enemies. And most importantly, yeah man, comment below. Because we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel will read every comment and we respond accordingly. And some, we don't respond because we are a... Yes, because you know what, the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we don't cut criminals any slack. Whether little or little piece. Zero slack. You know, no slack. We don't cut criminals no slack. We don't make excuse of criminals. You understand? So we continue the journey. Yeah, so this video is a follow-up to the video released earlier this morning by this channel, as requested by the young police officers at the Huntsville police station, where I was stationed for most of my career. And what happened to these police officers could have happened to me. Yes, Bobby Reg, Ruben Gunter, Rock Stevens, the late Kirk Palmer, Bruce Brown, Errol Gatta Thompson, Evan Blake, Detective Corporal Blake, and our team leader, Leslie Ashman. If the Indicom law was then an act, passed back then, if it was law, then thanks to the late Edward Siaga for standing up to the criminal-loving PNP LGBTQ plus party, who was in power Yes, they were the government in the 1990s to 2007 by denying them this law. Thank you, Mr. Edward Siaga, for saving many lives from these criminals, politicians in the PNP LGBTQ plus party. If it wasn't for you, Mr. Siaga, a lot of us would have been through what these three young police officers have been through. And for that, we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel are forever grateful to you for denying the PNP LGBTQ plus party this act, the Indicom Act, that criminalized these three young police officers for doing what they were trained to do. And we want to thank Mr. Siaga. Although you're gone, but your legacy lives on. Because if it wasn't for you, men like me would be in the same legal bind as these young police officers, because the tide has changed and it's now a criminal environment. So we want, at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, want to say thank you, Mr. Edward Siaga, although you're no longer here, and even member of your family. If it wasn't for you, this act would be around a long time ago, and the crime rate would be maybe 10 times what it is right now. Thank you, Mr. Siaga, for protecting us from the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal, loving, cuddling government. Yes, and you, Bruce Golding, I hope your soul rot in hell when you depart this earth for giving the PNP LGBTQ plus party and the criminal wing of the Jamaican society this act. Yes, all of you who voted for it, not only shame on you, you're all criminals. And I hope that in time you would die, you and your children. I hope before you depart this earth, you and your children suffer at the hands of these parasites that you people have been defending. Yeah, so moving on, the bloodthirsty PNP LGBTQ plus party and its constituents' hunger for police blood had gained traction even with the upper class in Jamaica. The three police constables convicted in the 2012 shooting death of 16-year-old student VANESSA KIRKLAND were acquitted in the Court of Appeal on Monday, April 24, 2023. Yes, we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel have been venting and letting them know that these police officers were arrested and charged wrongfully and they should not be persecuted or being prosecuted in the court. But you know, Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. Everything works for the criminals. The cops, Constable Andre Wayne Smith, Dervin Eels, and Woman Constable Anna K. Bailey had their 2019 conviction quashed after several errors by the Supreme Trial Judge. Yeah man, the Supreme Court Trial Judge Carol Beswick, yeah, a criminal supporter judge. And you know, we're gonna put up our picture right there for you to see her. So anytime you're traveling and playing and see her, you can remember that she is the criminal cuddling judge in Jamaica. Yeah, so that is your criminal cuddling judge, Carol Beswick. You know, she allowed the gunmen to testify against the cops they shot at. Have you ever seen anything like that? Nowhere in the world would criminals who fired shots at the police officers, not only that they were given immunity, but they were allowed to testify, and they are the main witnesses in the case. The people who went on the robbing spree and then they shot at the police, they become the witnesses in the case. I want the people to say if you can understand what happened. This is what happened when you're in a criminal's paradise. You can shoot at the police with an illegal gun, gun recover with spent casing, and that is disregarded, and the people who fire the gun are the witnesses. The people who fire the illegal gun and the people who fire the legal gun are the one that has been prosecuted. So tell me if that is not the criminal's paradise. What's the use of you young police officers they are wasting your lives? These people are hell-bent on sending you to prison. So they want the criminal to create anarchy. I'm telling you, man. So it's, you know, their conviction have been quashed after several errors by the Supreme Court Trial Judge. Yeah, that's her. Carol Lawrence Beswick. This woman right here, you know, she is the one who sent these police officers to prison. They had been each sentenced to 14 years and 6 months in prison for manslaughter about Kirkland's death. Vanessa Kirkland. Yeah, because she went to Immaculate and as usual she a ghetto girl and police a fight against ghetto people. And a ghetto people are commit the crime. Who are commit the crime? A ghetto people are commit the violent crime. And the people them uptown like her neighbors them and them a do the thieving, the frauds, the white collar crimes. Thief millions. Even from the Jamaican coffers like Colonel Spencer. You understand? So Kirkland, Vanessa Kirkland, a student of Immaculate Conception High School, was shot and killed on March 20th, 2012 on Norman Lane, Kingston 13, after the 3 police constables allegedly drove onto Norman Lane sometime after 9 o'clock in the night of the incident. On the night of the incident, and opened fire on the blue Suzuki motor car parked along the left side of the road. 6 other people who were reportedly shot and injured in the incident. So they don't say that, you know. You see how they put it, like the police are so recklessly. This woman, you know, woman police, 3 of them out there as constables, and they fired at a car that is parked. And yet still, there was a firearm that was recovered here. So what? Who was firing the gun? I hope you can sleep tonight, you know, Carol Beswick. You understand? And I hope that we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we pray that the criminals in Jamaica, I hope you experience the pangs of the criminals, your offsprings, including you. And when we say that with no apologies. If you're a criminal loving person, we wish nothing but criminals to be feed on you and your children and your offspring. Yes, we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel have zero tolerance or empathy or sympathy for criminal or criminal loving people, including you and your children's. Yeah, your children. And we pray that the same criminals that they will find their way in your space and they will do the necessary. We don't care what they want to do with you. The defense team, including attorneys Peter Champagne, who represent the 2 male accused, and Oswes Senior Smith, who represent the female, argue that the defendant acted in self-defense when they fired on the car. So if somebody shoot off you in Jamaica, so when you're police, you know, for fire back, you know, because the same criminal can become witness against you. It's what kind of society that? Police, I keep telling you to leave. We don't leave because Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. This could have happened to me easily if it wasn't for Edward Siaga that prevented the black man, PJ Patterson, from bringing this law to fore. But you know, most of the Jamaican police, because they are PMP and them can't think. You understand? They have Stockholm syndrome. No matter what the PMP do, them never wrong. As to me, nobody cannot buy my conscience. If it wasn't for Edward Siaga, police officer like me would be in prison because of this act. You understand? So that's why I applaud him. So all of you look worthless and beggy and licky police, yeah man, you know, it's you know, my heart goes out to these 3 young police officers, man, because I know that your life has been a roller coaster. I can't imagine what you people have been through. I have worked in that police area for years. I have been shot at several times in that same Norman Lane. You understand? And preemptive strike come in play. It could have been this thing could have happened to me easily. Bobby, Gunter, Palmer were dead, Gatta, Blake, Detective Corporal Evan Blake, Rock Stevens, who team leader Leslie Ashman, the Great Sledge. You understand? We are talking about police who used to fight. Even a gun smoke, we are talking about police who used to fight crime. We're not talking about the white shirt detective who come and work and dress and, you understand, it's all about image. We are talking about police who go out there and fight crime. You understand? And see one of a criminal loving supporter right there. You understand? So, you know. So Kirkland, yeah, Vanessa Kirkland, a student of Immaculate Conception High School, was shot and killed on March 12th. Yeah, and look, you must remember saying, you know, that's how it is, but they might say about wrong place. And a wrong place, you know, action, freedom come with responsibilities. And you're supposed to tell your children, say, look, you do not go around people who have illegal guns and go on robbery spree. Because she's just as guilty as them. So what? But you know, the criminals them in Jamaica, oh, you know, she was going to Immaculate Conception High School and she was doing well. And the police, they killed her. And nobody talk. There was nobody, no voice out there for the police. Because you know, in Jamaica, if you defend the police, you know, you become a marginalized voice in Jamaica. You know, because to rise to prominence in Jamaica, you have to be a criminal supporter. Hate the police and say all of the despicable things about the police. That the police are the enemy, are the poor people and all of that. When who's the enemy? It's the same politician. They are the one that robbing, scraping and pillaging the economy of everything for themselves and their friends, while keeping the people in poverty, and then blame everything on the police. Yeah. Oh, it's the police, why they can't get to live in freedom and do what they want to do, because I police have stopped them from rob Mr. Chin and kill Mr. Chin. You understand? But these people are telling the people them that, you know, say, you can make yourself better. Just like everybody else, every Jamaicans who have taken themselves out of poverty, but they want to live rich at the expense of others. They don't want to work. So whatever you have, you're supposed to give it to them. So they went and robbed all these people. So we continue the journey to show you how Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. You know, the 3 police officers have been sentenced, and the anti-police bloodlust has been satisfied. It is time to take an introspective look at the allegation around the case, to give you, my audience member, why this case should not have been prosecuted in the first place. And it was deliberate by us at this channel to release the video about the case, to show you, you know, about the tale of 2 police officer women in the same community. One was murdered and her body sprawled on the ground, Crystal Thomas. And then the other one, Anna K. Bailey, she is in prison for defending her life in the same community where they killed her colleague. You understand? Crystal Thomas. And she, Anna K. Bailey, was sent to prison for defending her life where they killed her colleague, a woman, 3 shots in her face, and sprawled out on the ground. And that did not faze the jurors, because the jurors have been brainwashed into believing the criminals and supporting the criminal rhetoric in Jamaica and convicting these police officers. And none of these jurors, they would not live in normal lane. Do you know how hard it is to police these people? You have to be, you have to have a level of thinking and fortitude and resilience to deal with these people. Police work in Jamaica is very stressing, and I applaud every police officers who are serving, especially people from my batch who are still serving. You understand? It's going over 35 years. I could not survive in an environment like this. I don't know how they do it, but I applaud them. And I am happy that I have left. And it's a good thing that I have left. Because the Indicom law is designed to create criminals within the police force. Both political parties are not your friend police officers. The days when you have allies in parliament is gone. From the day that Edward Siaga was voted out of the leadership of the JLP LGBTQ+, of the JLP party, then that's when everything, you have no allies in parliament anymore. That's the same one that most police officer hate. Because why? He was born in America. And according to them, he's not one of us. Yes, they don't like him because he's never black. But yet still, you know, them like Michael Manley and Siaga is the man that was looking out for the police. You cannot tell me one anti-police law that this man had signed, but yet still the police hate him. And all of the anti-police law is the PMP LGBTQ+ party that did it. But that's how it is, and it's when people can ignore their conscience. It's like somebody who has Stockholm syndrome. It doesn't matter how much abuse they have been through, they cannot leave the abuser. So that's how they are. As for me, the PMP can't tell me nothing. Nothing. Them not like police. Them love criminal. Remember, it's the same political party, the PMP, LGBTQ+ government. When 2 men, Anthony Brown and Jad Flash, who have killed Ted Ogilvy, a government employee. This is the same PMP government when Prime Minister PJ Patterson, they keep celebration party in Kingston Eastern Police Division for these criminals. And all the big wigs from the PMP party was there. That is not a government, that's a criminal, that is not a political party, that's a criminal organization. That is like the mob keeping a party for John Gotti coming out of prison. And these men, they weren't in prison, you know. They were in Cuba, nearby Cuba. That's where you have a liar right now hiding Antoinette Anton, who had stolen money from poor people. And then you people are so gullible. Now see they have bringing back Colonel Spencer to come and thief more money. You don't see it's a criminal organization. So stop complaining about crime. You're supposed to see who is promoting and supporting the criminals in Jamaica. So that's what we're living. That is the culture that we are living right now. They have planted the seed. They are the one who fund the Jamaican for Justice. Jamaican for Justice head, Carolyn Gomes, is the first cousin of Ronald Thwaites, who is a PMP LGBTQ plus activist and supporter, and at one time the Minister of Education. Their job is to destroy the same people that they claim that they love, but because the people are illiterate and cannot read. So like for me to educate the people them who's from a PMP community, I am a labourer. If that's what you want to say, that is your business. So you going to stay dumb forever. You understand? I am not advocating for no political party. You understand? Because both of them have one common enemy, the police and the poor people. You understand? And they pit the poor people against the police because they are the real criminals. I don't see the only two politicians I can point to right now that I see that's supporting the police is Chang and Bobby Montague. The Prime Minister, no. So we continue the journey because we are very happy, you know, what happened to our colleagues from Unspear where we used to work at. Unspear, we love Unspear, you know. Yes, we love Unspear and the people them. You understand? Especially people them in Cockburn Pen and Toil and all those places, because those places back in 19 were the most peaceful place. Crime, nil. You don't have any murder and all those things in the, you understand? You know, so we give thanks. The case shouldn't prosecute the police officer them, man. And we here, yeah, you might hear with someone upbeat because we are happy because them should not charge them. Them should not charge them. 11 years of hell for these 3 police officers. Imagine you almost lose your life, then you go to prison. You can't believe in a system like that, man. You get your money, police, try to say if I open a migrate and them thing, man. You just go back and work, collect your money. You don't even want to go to the road and them thing if you serve the salmon. Because you know that they will charge. Because see all the Indicom white man will come from England, but him a keep stat. You understand? About how police, how much police and all them thing. The system is designed against your people, man. You understand? So as I said before, the video was deliberately done this morning. Deliberately, because we know that the case, you know, it was coming up for, you know, for the judges, for the lawyers, for the prosecutor and the defense attorney to present the case to the judges for them to acquit these police officers. So that's why we did the video, because we expect they're supposed to be acquitted because they should not be arrested and charged in the first place. But I don't know who this judge was serving. But I know it wasn't the police officers in Jamaica or the law-abiding citizen. She was serving the criminal wings in Jamaica. And just hope one day that she will experience what poor people have been experiencing and be a victim of crime. Because I have zero sympathy for criminals. Because criminals are heartless people. They have no conscience and they are evil. I don't know an honest criminal. And for this judge to allow the gunmen to testify against the cops, it goes to show you that Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. Now that the police officers have endured 12 years of financial terrorism from their government, this is more evidence for our young police officers to take the necessary step to migrate from Jamaica and the police force for a better life, because the system is designed to make sure that you have a criminal record and destroy your lives. While they are doing that, they are cleaning the criminal records of convicted criminals and send them to the United States of America to commit more crimes. Even people who have deported from Canada, they have given them clean police record in Jamaica and they have migrated to this country. So the police record that is coming out of Jamaica to the United States is not good. It is flawed because of the criminal system that is there, that is designed for the criminals. So Jamaica has been sending convicted criminals to America with clean police record. Look no further than Isaac Buchanan, twice convicted drug dealer and a member of the PMP LGBTQ plus hierarchy. You don't want nothing more than that. So we'll continue the journey. So we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel are happy that the noise surrounding the death of 16-year-old Immaculate Conception High School student VANESSA Kirkland is buried forever, as our colleagues have been freed by the appeal court. But to be a police officer in Jamaica is dangerous in every way possible, as you are the target for the criminals in the parliament, the courts, and the upper St. Andrew. Criminals, please work smart, not hard. Before handing the case to the jury, presiding Judge Carol Lawrence Beswick, that's the same woman there, told them they could consider the lesser charge of manslaughter, whether or not this is the proper judicial address to the jury. One cannot help but feel that the fix was in for the officers. They already set the stage, they already decide how much years to give them. It gives rise to the idea that the trial judge understand with no mens rea, guilty state of mind, the overcharged murder had no footing on which to stand. Because for you to commit murder, you have to have malice, So there was no malice, The police didn't know none of these people. These people commit them robbery in Portmore, robbery spree, but they were charged for murder. Malice it have to be malice or transfer malice. There was no malice involved, but they charge them for murder anyway. That's how wicked these people are, It's black people, Black criminals. Yes, black criminals with titles in Jamaica. And we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we denounce them. But we just pray that we at the Jamaica Young is praying that the same parasite turn on these well-titled criminals. Oh, the police, these police are just stupid because, they're supposed to be working like some intelligence agents operate around the world. You send the criminal them because you're supposed to have criminal limits and send them, to your enemies. Because like this judge is the enemy of law enforcement officers and law-abiding citizens. So you let them get a taste of what the same people in the ghetto experiencing. The officers were found guilty, literally as directed by the court, of manslaughter, even though the standard for murder was not met. So the judge know, in herself, know that there was nothing for them. There was no murder case, because there's no mens rea. There was no malice, and it was justifiable homicide. These police officers were defending their lives. You understand? But because they were poor people and they were criminal, these are the criminals, You understand? Remember that how much killer court them find over in Pembroke Pines, what they want to call it down there, in Portmore Pines. You understand? And how much them find the man? A 500,000 and give man let him out. So I will just, for you connected, you're good. But for your police, what? A police are enemy of Jamaica, man. Young police, you better leave, man. I am happy, but I am still upset because a lot of you still there talking about patriotism. Patriotism don't make it, man. You need to leave. I keep begging you guys. You are it's young police officers. This channel was started because of you, I didn't start it for myself, because I am doing pretty well. I am doing pretty well in the United States of America. So I am doing it to enlighten you, for you people to leave. You're serving a criminal system. Both political parties there, you have no allies there in Jamaica, None. Zero. Maybe only two you have. And it's two labor right. We name Bobby Montague and Chang. None from the PNP. Zero. Damian Crawford used to. But you know that they read the riot act to him. So if you just get on board and with the Peter Phillips and the other rear admirals them, you understand? So I am just begging you, man, for you guys to leave, because, these people, they are hell-bent on destroying your lives, man. You understand? The judge know that there was nothing there to convict the police officer. But, so we'll continue the journey. Yeah, honestly, this is just a conversation to us at the Jamaica Young Police Channel. The sentence given to these brave police officer, imposed by, Lawrence Beswick, and a lesser charge of manslaughter. Everything was already set in motion. There was no mens rea, so you could not convict them for murder. A gun was there, recovered at the scene. How you sleep? How you sleep, Carol Beswick? Remember, you know, man, I tell you, no wonder why, you see it? That's why God punish you on them thing there and give you some heartache with your husband, because you're wicked. You're not conscience. And we pray for you, honestly, we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we pray for you, man, some African prayers. You understand? So, I just say one of them things, we want you to feel the pain too, because you're wicked. You're a wicked woman. You understand? Yeah. I want to pray for now about Paul rest in peace. Paul rest in hell. All I want are wicked. You understand? You know that the 3 police officers defend them life. The gun was there. You understand? I want to use the criminal them to testify against the police. You think say God love ugly? You know, you must pay for the sin and help destroy Jamaica and I give credence and put these criminals on pedestal. And we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel vex. You understand? This sentence given to these police officers was vastly more than the sentence of 7 years and 10 years. The very same court generally hand out to murderous criminals convicted for murder the more severe charge. The case in and of itself demonstrate a blatant anti-police bias and hatred even in the courts, which are supposed to be level-headed arbiters of facts, not emotionally easily swayed tools of anti-police rage by these criminals who attended the ghetto university of the West Indies, where they are taught to hate the police force and its members because it is a reminder of the slaveholders and owners' legacies live on in Jamaica. Still, they are the same ones. These same people, you know, they hate the police force, you know, because they keep saying that it reminds them of slavery. As if Jamaican people are still under slavery and their watch. They are the biggest, you understand? They are the same people who promote European behaviors to our children, and those who dare to speak up our labor bigots by these bossy slaves like Carol Beswick. These people have no conscience. You understand? These bossy slaves claim that they're eating the white power structure, then and presently promoting white power structure of demonizing and destroying Jamaicans' minds that are trying to find a normalcy among the confusion. Sorry for the digression, but it is to show that these people are hypocrites and liars. My former colleagues of Huntsville Police Station who were on trial for this crime had zero chance of getting a fair trial anywhere in Jamaica, because the PNP LGBTQ plus party, along with the current JLP LGBTQ plus government, have saturated the airwaves about the case as the police being wicked to poor people without mentioning the fact in the same place where VANESSA KIRKLAND was killed that several police officers were shot and seriously injured, and a policewoman was killed in the same community by gunmen, including Detective Inspector Gunter was shot and injured there. Detective Constable Kirk Palmer was shot and seriously injured there. A police officer was killed here in the 70s. Detective Sergeant Watson had to run from 2 Mile back to Huntsville. Back then, they killed Crystal Thomas in the same community. When they, I understand, killers are, you know, that's the reason why I did the video, to show you the tale of 2 woman police officers in the same community. One was killed, shot 3 times in her face, and the other one was sent to prison for defending her life. So what are these people doing? They're promoting criminality, you understand, and hating the police. Detective Inspector Ruben Gunter, who was shot once in the mouth, and on another occasion he was shot in his abdomen and his shoulder, same place in the Norman Lane area. We used to work together. You understand? He had never received a national award for his service because he is not a thief or a criminal supporter affiliating with any of the political parties in Jamaica. But the woman, Dr. Carolyn Gomes, who have promoted criminality in Jamaica, received a national award from former Prime Minister Bruce Golden, the JLP LGBTQ plus Prime Minister, who have given us Indicom. I pray that everything bad happened to all of you people who voted for the Indicom Act and unleash these parasites on the Jamaican people. We know that the white people from Europe, they want Jamaica. You understand? But if you want it, you don't turn the criminal. But might as well just bring in and just kill, use anything where you want else, you understand? But why unleashing terror on the people? You understand? Because you want the educated people them to migrate and come to your slave camp. Because when you live in white country, you know, you don't. Jamaica is a paradise on earth, you know. When most Jamaican who live in white countries, they were much happier in Jamaica. But it's just because of the financial strain and crime. That's why people have to migrate. And because of the corruption. But it can be fixed. But who's there to stand up to these criminals like this judge, Carol Lawrence Beswick? Who's there to stand up to them? And God, that's why God took her husband. You understand? The case should not have seen inside of any courtroom because the evidence was overwhelming. That it was a case of self-defense, as the police officers had recovered a gun that was used to shoot at them. But no, that was not enough, as no police officers were killed. Yes, no police officers weren't killed. All these gunmen, all these police are so fortunate when they shoot at them, none of them get killed and none were injured that day. So we don't believe them. That's how these people are, wicked people. The officers were afforded not one scintilla of qualified immunity in the execution of their sworn duty to serve and protect. Inherent in all that is the tragedy that these young police officers took evasive and decisive action as they were sworn to do and were scapegoated, demagogued, denigrated, and criminally convicted for doing what they were trained to do in case their lives are in danger. So you're supposed to use force to defend yourself. Yeah man, uninformed outcry and a bash, shameless anti-police bias in the criminal complicit and criminal paradise Jamaica has been a society was sufficient to gin up the persecuting mob, exculpatory evidence and common sense. Would not matter at all to these people. Yeah, common sense don't work. Yeah, from the police they're my enemy from 1970, from a youth I grew up in a Jamaica and a Jonestown. They have been embedded in our people. Yeah, I police are enemy because them police them eat poor people. They don't tell the people them not to obey the law. I am from the belly of the beast. And how comes I don't hate the police? How I don't hate the police? Yeah, I have family that, you know, things happen to them with the police. I mean, I hate the police. I know what it was one police and them thing there. And, you know, good and bad in every organization. But we at the Jamaica, we hate thief in police, but these police officers are not thief. These are hard-working police officers who are trying to keep the streets safe. Now that you have done this, you have unleashed the terrorists on the Jamaica young police officers. On the night in question, the police reported the confrontation occurred after several persons were robbing Portmore St. Catherine. They went on a robbery spree. You understand? And the robbers escaped to Kingston in a motor car. Following the shooting, it was discovered that 7 passengers, 4 female and 3 males, were traveling in the motor car. 4 other persons were also shot and injured. 2 of the gunmen were shot and injured. You understand? And they end up giving evidence against the police. They used a legal gun to shoot at the police. And 2 of them, the gunmen, were afforded the opportunity to testify against the police. Oh my God. Police officer, wake up. Don't you see that the system is skewed against you? I am begging you guys, put your things in order and leave. Leave Andrew Holness police force and Mark Golding police force. Let them outsource it. The day for them is coming in very soon. And we have zero sympathy for criminal supporters and coddlers, financiers and sympathizers. We have zero. But the only thing what we're going to do when that day comes, we're going to say, we told you, you understand, in a very happy way too. So the other men escaped, 5 persons involved in the incident are from addresses in Greenwich Farm, Greenwich Town, yes, while the other 2 are from Norman Lane addresses. A Taurus .3 revolver with 3 live rounds and 3 spent shell were seized. And other spent shell were seen on the ground, so they all reloading because 2 of them did have gun in it. You understand? And what happened to the 9mm spent shell that were in the car? Who disposed of it? What happened to it? Oh, we don't see nothing about all the 9mm spent shell that were recovered in the car. You saw the Indicom people, them dishonestly discarded that to protect the criminal them. I mean, I tell them people. And none of the criminals' hands were swabbed. None. You understand? And that did not give the judge any sane thinking person to put in themselves in the shoes of these police officers who have put their life on the line. At the end, they were persecuted by the system, built by criminals, controlled by criminals who are members of parliament in Jamaica. The foregoing is the central tenets of what transpired. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel have not seen the alternative narrative that contradicts this reporting from the police officers. In light of that, the facts, there are a few questions that must be answered surrounding how the police officers are supposed to respond to incidents in which lethal violence is directed at them. What the police them want, in time gunman shooting at the police them want, they must scope and make them kill them. You, Judge Caroline Beswick, man, I pray for you, man. Oh God, man, I pray a nice prayer for you. And I hope that the good Lord will make you feel what victims of crime have been feeling in Jamaica. Yeah, man, whoever is supplying you with all the necessary things financially against the police, yes, man, I hope it can buy you joy. Because your day is coming too. Your day is coming too, you know. Every one of us day is coming. Every man accountable for their sins on earth. You understand? It is essential to consider that this case was investigated by a demonstrably biased neophyte Indicom, just established at the time less than 2 years, and with the commissioner Terence Williams, a megalomania with his agenda. I will set aside Terence Williams, the JLP LGBTQ+ criminal cuddler, supporter and police hater and Indicom, and deal with the core of what reportedly occurred on the fateful night, resulting in criminal conviction of the 3 police officers, Constable Anna K. Bailey, Andre Wayne Smith, and Dervin Hales. No one has suggested that the officer acted outside of their given mandate to serve, protect, and to reassure. The evidence that were there, in fact, part of the response of the event coming over the police radar of robberies in Portmore, St. Catherine, and a car with armed occupants. So when you get that over control, in America they call it dispatch. No one has challenged that several occupants were in the car or that the officers returned fire after being shot at. No one has challenged the fact that the driver refused to stop when ordered to do so by the police officers. No one has challenged that one weapon with live round and spent shell were recovered. No one had questioned the amount of 9mm spent shell that were in the car and ceremoniously disappear from the case. So it was 2 guns that were in the car. No one questioned that 2 or so potentially armed occupants fled the car, was brought to a stop. No one challenged the evidence that the descendant VANESSA KIRKLAND was in the vehicle and was involved in the commission of several felonies, although she was pointed out by several witnesses and complainants who were robbed in Portmore. No one did that. No one challenged that the car occupant did not commit several robberies in Portmore before ending up in Kingston. What was testified to by Indicom forensic expert is that most of the shooting came from outside of the vehicle Kirkland and others were traveling, as if the police have to ensure that they do not fire more rounds than those fired at them. No one has denied that the stolen items were recovered from the car. So where is the crime that those brave police officers commit? Where is the crime? Because if they recovered all of these things, one of the gun, the spent shell that were there, the 9mm spent shell that were there, that Indicom that was supposed to be above board, transparent, honest in their investigation. Where is the 8 9mm spent shell that was recovered in the car at the crime scene. That the people at, even the same people at Norman Lane saw the spent shell in. What happened to those spent shell? Why those spent shell is not a part of the case, at the exhibit? Where is the spent shells? Boy, I'm telling you, man. You know, why these people, they're just wicked, man. You understand? So, you know, they're behaving like the police have to ensure that they do not fire more rounds than those fire at them. So they're saying if a gunman fire one shot at you at the police, yeah, you must fire more than one. Wow, these people are something else, man. Young police officer, see, there's more reasons for you to leave now, you know. No one has denied that the stolen goods were recovered from the car. No one. So as long as the police gave the order to stop and the driver refused to stop, and as long as gunfire came from that vehicle, the police have every right to return fire at the car, because you have to protect your life. Imagine, you know how many times that happened to me in St. Andrew South. So every time I look at this woman, man, Carol Lawrence Beswick, I just want you law-abiding citizens, you know, because she traveled to the United States and all over all the time. She used to go to school in America. You understand? So, you know, they have the liberal mindset. So anytime you see her on the plane, you just remember that she's a criminal cuddling judge. You understand? She's one of them who's unleashing the parasites on you people in Jamaica and criminalizing our young police officers. Yes, I know this video is very long, and it is not for the people with the five at the arm for goldfishes. Yes. And it's not doing any insult with us. I say it as it is, because, you know, the goldfish, them complaining, say, boy, this long. This channel is not for goldfishes. You understand? Nowhere else, man, in the world, there were so many inconsistencies in this case that should never brought up in the first place, including the prosecution, witnesses who refused to testify to the lies that Indicom put up to them. Indicom coach the two criminals, you know, the man them shoot for the police, them, you know. Indicom coach the gunmen. Where in the world have you ever seen police officer in the lawful execution of their duty being shot at, and the people who use illegal guns to shoot at them testify and send them to prison? So that's why we're over here. Your tone is totally different from any other video, because this could happen to us too. The prosecution asked the judge to declare her a hostile witness. Yes. The prosecution asked the judge to declare her a hostile witness. Nowhere else would police officers doing their jobs being criminalized because of a fantastic notion that an angelic schoolgirl in the wrong place, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, cannot become collateral casualty consequence of her action. Everybody talk about freedom. Freedom comes with responsibility. She's 16. She's smart. So she's supposed to know the difference between wrong and right. No, but she want to go on jolly right, because she want to go back and tell her friend them, oh, boy, she go out with man and them rob people. If she was arrested, she would be the same thing. But you don't hear the woke activists them come out. Oh, you know that you know, Vanessa, oh, her mother's poor, and you know, she was just she didn't know that they were committing robberies, and she just went on a ride with them, and unfortunately, you know, that she get caught up in it, and you know, she don't even know the men. That's how wicked these people are, no man. Me I tell you, no man, them, no man, me I tell you, man, no soul go burn in hell, man. You understand? So we have heard all the village liars and pundits and the bleeding hearts, anti-police propagandists, and now it's our turn to speak out about what is happening in Jamaica. Has been turned into a veritable killing field. It's a criminal's paradise. Police are persecuted whenever they dare to go after the murderers and the other anarchists. And the government ensure that the killing remains, even as it refuses to repeal the Trojan horse called Indicom. Because it satisfies them, it's benefit them. Just keeping the police them stationary and the soldier them, you know, their friends, they can move them drugs from point A to point B freely, because you just use up the resources. Which police officer did join the police force to become a soldier? Only soldier alone occupy a community. You don't say I use them, I use on a young police. Try and find a way to leave. You understand? Yes. Try and find a way to leave. Police officer, if you try to go to the US embassy, you don't get a visa or anything. Go to Bahamas, visit, spend a 3 days or so with your girlfriend and come back on 1 and 2 little things. You understand? The marauding criminals killed without consequences. On the rare occasion, they are captured and convicted. Their penalty or heinous murders are considerably less than that given police officer convicted for lesser charges. The political opposition is equally as complicit as the government in this degradation of our country. The environment of anti-rule of law that police officers are asked to operate, how do you expect crime rate to decline and the police officers to be upbeat, energetic to do their jobs when the politicians are the cheerleaders against the law enforcement officers? Come on. Clean the garbage out of the smut from the china closet, but not break anything. Why is us evil, man, these people? For the reason, the police have become tentative and show reluctant and ineffectual. The police officers in Jamaica are impotent. The criminal underworld have been winning for years, since the 90s. Jamaica cannot fool itself any longer than the current strategies will do anything to change the murder rate in Jamaica. The foundation on which the nation's criminal justice is built is inherently supportive of criminals, for criminals, not for the rule of law. Those who run the country are not ignorant of these truths, and they design it this way to benefit themselves. You understand? So we have, people have been elected criminals, and the criminals in terms make laws that benefit the criminals. I know that the three officers have been acquitted based on the appeal. Yes, we are very happy to report that these 3 police officers from Unspear are free. And, hopefully, when they are reimbursed tens of millions in compensation for lost wages and punitive damages, they will take the money and move on with their life. Not to serve in the Jamaica Constabulary Force as broken men and a woman. Anna K. Bailey is the first policewoman to be convicted of defending her life, while the same community where she defended her life, her colleague's body, less than 3 years later, sprawled on the roadway with 3 gunshot wounds to her face. Yeah, man, thanks to the Judge Carol Lawrence Beswick, and she had received a promotion since, because that's how it is, you commit crime in Jamaica, you get promotion. Yes, there are various crime. You have crime that, it's criminal, but you have crime against the conscience. And decency. You understand? It doesn't matter how much that they are going to try to lie to you, young police officer, that the system works, but not for you guys, and it works for the criminals. There will be no amount of money that will ever right the monumental wrong done to you guys by this country's judicial system that is designed against law enforcement officers and support criminals in the sphere. Imagine the men who were armed with illegal guns coming to a slew of robberies in Portmore, St. Catherine, South Police area, was not only given immunity, but were the state prize witnesses. And my question to the police haters was, can you show me an honest criminal? If there's an honest criminal, then I would encourage others to join the PNP LGBTQ plus party, which has given you men like Colonel Spencer, who's coming to thief more money again from the people's coffers, because those are the people the system is designed for in Jamaica, the criminal's paradise. My advice to every young police officers in Jamaica is to find a way to migrate from this place before you become a convicted criminal and spend years in prison for doing your job. The system is designed against you, and it is designed for criminals. Look no further than your judge, Carol Lawrence Beswick. She ignored all the facts. There was no mens rea, nothing to prove that it was murder, but she still tell the judge them to convict the police officers of manslaughter. You don't want nothing more than that to show you that Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. If you have reached this far in the video, yes, thanks. We might sound, our tone might sound different today, but we are very passionate when it comes down to law enforcement officers, because we have spent a third of our lives doing the same thing back in Jamaica. fighting against criminal and criminality. And we know who are the real criminals. So that's why we keep imploring our young police officers to leave. Yes. The court had freed the police officers, but yet they haven't told us why or give us any written notice. But we're happy that they were acquitted because it was a clear case of self-defense. And the jurors who convicted these police officers, I hope to God that the parasites visit you and your family. And when it happens, no sympathy for you people. These brave young police officers pay with their freedom for an ungrateful and criminal coddling nation that 8 police officers. Thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. Congratulations to my 3 police officers from Hunts Bay Police Station. I hope that you people will find a way to move on with your life, but not to serve in the police force anymore. Try to migrate. I am begging you. Find somewhere. Don't stay there because you're working for criminals. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police channel out.